Hello, welcome back. So today I have a little fun thing planned. I found this, the book of questions, at my work, and I thought it'd be a fun video idea to ask you these questions. I had another video planned for today, role play, but when I went to edit it, the sound didn't record halfway through, so I will have to re-film that. But this was kind of on the back burner, and so I think it'd be fun to try this. So I'll just ask you the questions. You can answer them out loud, in your head. I'll do my best to listen. And if not, you can just listen to the questions and hopefully relax. These are like not trivia questions or anything. They are get to know you type questions, kind of like what would you do. There's 217, and I was thinking instead of going in order, I would just flip to a random page. Some of them have an asterisk next to them, and in that case, it means there's a follow-up question or another related question, and I'll do those too. And then lastly, some of the questions are kind of like dark, and so if I flip to one that's a little bit like sus, I'm just not gonna read it, because like we're here to just relax, so I don't need to be asking you about like what would you do if something horrible happened to your family or something, you know? Let's just stick to the fun ones. Okay, so let's just get started. I'm gonna open to a random page and ask you some questions. Okay, number 159. If you had the choice of one intimate soulmate and no other close friends, or of no such soulmate and many friends and acquaintances, which would you choose? It's interesting. Yeah, so one soulmate and no friends, or no soulmate and many friends. Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of fall on one side of that. What is your most treasured memory? There's definitely a lot, yeah. Well, have you seen the movie Inside Out? I really like that movie. The Pixar movie? Yeah, with the core memories. Maybe think of it like that. Number 27 on the same page says, this one's so weird. If God appeared to you in a series of vivid and moving dreams and told you to leave everything behind, travel alone to the Red Sea and become a fisherman, what would you do? What if you were told to sacrifice your child? I think that, well, I'd like to hear your answer first. Yeah, me neither. I think that people in historically might have put more like significance in their dreams, because, you know, at certain times in history people thought that thoughts came from external sources, and who knows, you know. But I think nowadays more people think of brain chemistry and they don't trust their dreams. So if God appeared in your dream, I think you would think that's just a dream. I don't know. Okay, number 168. What things are too personal to discuss with others? I don't know, can you even tell me that? Yeah, I could see that. I don't have anything too personal to discuss, at least in person. some things I wouldn't put on the internet. Okay, number 73. No, that one's kind of dark. Never mind. Okay, number 77. Do you feel ill at ease going alone to either dinner or a movie? What about going on a vacation by yourself? Yeah, so like how do you feel if you're sitting alone in a restaurant or something? Yeah, I think I would like to be able to do that. I hate being alone. So, I think I'd just get a little lonely. I don't feel that awkward about it. I think some people feel awkward, maybe. Okay. $176. Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? It's like the same with like when you're in school, there's like attendance, you kind of practice it. Let's see. This book was written in 1985. So some of the questions, at least I noticed, the money-related questions are significantly too low. It's like, oh, what would you do for $1 million? I don't even know. Okay, number 51. Do you have any specific long-term goals? What is one, and how do you plan on reaching it? That's so cool. That's awesome. I love to hear about people's goals. And this one has a little asterisk, so let's see. 51 in the further questions section. How often do you step back and reflect upon the way you are living and where you are headed? In what way will reaching your goals make your life more satisfying? That's a very interesting question. I think I need to read it again. What do you think? How often do you step back and reflect upon the way you are living and where you are headed? In what way will reaching your goals make your life more satisfying? Yeah, I think that I'll need to give that some more thought. Yeah. I also think some of the language in here is quite outdated. But, it's 217 plus free questions. So I'm just going to skip those type ones. 52. For what in your life do you feel most grateful? Yeah. Family's a good one. And if not, it's good to have. There's big and small things to be grateful for, It's like some days when I am thinking about what I'm grateful for, it can be the big things, family, friends, partnership, career, things like that. And sometimes it's the smaller things, like I'm grateful for cookies, I'm grateful for a good book. So I think it changes, and it's good to do it on the micro and macro level. Yeah, well, it's awesome. That's really good. Well, I'll do 53. It's right under that one. How do you react when people sing happy birthday to you in a restaurant? Has that ever happened to you? Oh. Yeah. And then you're kind of just like, yeah. Okay, this one's a little more personal. Number 147. When did you last cry in front of another person? I know, sometimes those are hard to remember. But do you remember a time where you cried in front of someone? What about by yourself? I've talked to a lot of people about like when they cry, and there's so many varying answers. Some people cry a couple times a year, some people cry a couple times a day. I think it really just depends on a lot of factors, and it doesn't mean anything about you necessarily, like your sensitivity or anything. I think it's good to know yourself, you know? Okay. What about number 85? Would you like to be famous? In what way? So maybe like for what? Yeah. I do think it would be hard. Because you can't really go out. Change your lifestyle quite a bit. The money. For sure, I could see that. Ooh, this one's interesting. Number 127. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? This one also has an asterisk, so we'll go to that. A lot. Well, it says anything, not one thing, so. Yeah. Well, it's like the way you were raised brought you to this moment, and this moment is a wonderful moment because we're here together, just hanging out. So I wouldn't change a thing. But let's see. What's the follow-up question? In what ways will you treat or have you treated your children differently from the way you were treated? If you've already raised children and could do it again, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently? So that's really interesting. So if you are a parent, I'd like to hear the response, or even put it in the comments. But that can be a difficult question. And I think everyone has some sort of theory on what they would do, or what they wish had been done differently, either for them or for their children. Just knowing you're not alone in that. The fact that it's in 2 questions in this book is, I think we've all tried to figure out how to raise people and be raised. Number 123. When you do something ridiculous, how much does it bother you to have other people notice it and laugh at you? I think they mean like on accident. That's interesting. I definitely prefer it when people do laugh, because then we can laugh together. Whereas if I tripped and fell and no one laughed, I would just feel really awkward, you know? So it's kind of like a communal thing. But I could totally see that too. Number 182. And be honest. Have you ever disliked someone for being luckier or more successful than you? And when they're similar to you, or like younger, I could see that, yeah. Number 62. If you walked out of your house one morning and saw a bird with a broken wing huddled in some nearby bushes, what would you do? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's good to take it to a vet, probably. There's no follow-up question, but the one I thought of is, what if you were already late to work or school? Yeah, well, it's just something to think about. Yeah, no, these are fun. Number 100. This one's kind of a deep one, so feel free to think about it a little bit. What do you most strive for in your life? Accomplishment, security, love, power, excitement, knowledge, or something else? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's... definitely something to think about. You think, what do I value? What do I want to value? And how am I acting to manifest those values, I guess. Something like that. But yeah, love, happiness, those are all great. I have to read the longer ones through first to make sure there's nothing about something terrible happening at the end. Okay, what about this one? 115. Given the ability to project yourself into the past but not return, would you do so? Where would you go, and what would you try to accomplish if you knew you might change the course of history? Yeah. Yeah, it kind of depends on which multiverse or time travel set of laws you're going with. I think it'd be fun to go back to like 1987 and bring my phone. Yeah, because I thought about it, and it's like if you brought your phone to like medieval peasant, it's so far out there that like I don't think they would care, and if they did, it's witchcraft, so oh, but this one does have a follow-up, so let's go to how might the world be different if you could actually change some historical event? How sure are you that the long-term consequences would be positive? Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's like I said earlier, we're in this moment together, and I wouldn't change that for the world, so. Okay, this one is quite interesting. Number 125. Assuming that complete recovery were instantaneous, would you be willing to accept a year of complete paralysis below the neck to prevent the otherwise certain extinction of the blue whale? I would say just maybe like some animal. You could just replace it with that. If you could prevent the extinction of the rhinoceros, the panda bear, the blue whale, would you accept this? It's a tricky one for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I actually wouldn't. I just think be as a functioning being able to move about the world and speak and interact with others can have the potential to do more to help the environment and animals than that sort of one-to-one exchange. But obviously someone else might have a different outlook on that. But there's a follow-up question, so. Okay. When you make a big sacrifice, do you tell people about it, or do you keep it to yourself? Do you feel annoyed when your sacrifices aren't acknowledged by others? What would you never willingly sacrifice? Your life, your health, your integrity, your dreams? So that's a really interesting one, too. Yeah, I think everyone does want to do good for good's sake, but we also want to be recognized as good people, and I think those two can be independent. $173. When was the last time you stole something? Why haven't you stolen anything since then? Steal someone's heart. Yeah, there's, I stole, I don't know, I stole some pens from work or something like that, and I'm not saying I did that, but like people, there's degrees, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think people borrow and forget to return / steal small items all the time. But I don't know, have you ever stolen something bigger, maybe from a store? Oh, you don't have to answer that. You can have your confidentiality, but if you decide to tell me, I won't tell a soul. I'm still just looking for one. Okay, what about this one? Number 216. If a crystal ball would tell you the truth about any one thing you wish to know concerning yourself, life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know? Yeah. I think that's good. You can kind of know, like, if you're putting your energy in the right place or if you should be on a different path. I think I'd like to know when I would die. Okay, number 82. Is it easy for you to accept help when you need it? Will you ask for help? Asking for help is hard. Totally. Especially when you feel like it's something you should know how to do. Obviously, there are no such things. We're born as babies. Babies don't need to know how to do anything. So there's nothing that's expected of you, but definitely can be hard if you feel as if there are those expectations. Well, that's really good. That's really good, yeah. My gosh, yeah, some of these are really dark and personal, and some are not, so I guess it really does Very, which is good. Number 169. How many times a day do you look at yourself in the mirror? And I'm going to go ahead and add to that question your reflection. Because you know when you're like walking by store windows and stuff? Me too. Me too. Number 179. If you went to a movie with a friend and it was lousy, would you leave? You have? Oh, I see. Oh, this one's fun. Number 18. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one ability or quality, what would it be? I guess it doesn't specify a realistic one, so a tail works. Oh, okay. That's super cool. I would love to be able to do that too. Alright, let me find a good one to end on. Okay. I don't think I already asked that question. Oh no, now I can't even remember. Oh, I have a good one to end on. Number 209. If you could script the basic plot for the dream you'll have tonight, what would the story be? What dream would you like to have tonight? Okay. Right on. That's a lovely dream, and I hope you have it. Well, I hope you enjoyed these questions. I enjoyed asking you them, and I hope you have that dream tonight, and I hope you have a wonderful night's sleep or a relaxing day, and I will see you next week.